Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Ohtobewhole with Camille Young. Yes, she's here. She got her extra set of eyes on to support her vision on today. Yes, I do. Glad to have you here with me. Hello to my holy rollers. How are you? Just glad to have you here with me. Look, y'all, we gonna dive on into today's topic, honey, because I want to talk about this on today. I have talked about it before, but never with this title, okay? Today's topic is check the pedigree before you agree. Okay? Check the pedigree before you agree. You're like, check the pedigree before you agree. Agree to what? Honey, marriage. Baby, I'm talking about dun 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 dun. Okay? Check the pedigree before you agree. I wanted to talk about this a little around this time because we're getting ready. We're setting up for the holidays, right? And as we're setting up for the holidays, what things normally occur during the holiday season? You may have, dinners and parties that you're attending, and usually what happens is somebody get proposed to. Okay? Engagements happen a lot of times during the holidays. So I wanted to at least put this out here. Unfortunately, most people, especially if they're this close to getting married, about somebody, they think somebody's about to propose, they're so far in that they're not gonna shut down a wedding or call off an engagement and all of that, or quit the person many times at this late stage because they're thinking about the wedding. And that's male and female, okay? They're thinking about the wedding. They're thinking about the money invested. They're thinking about the time invested. They thinking about what others will think. Thinking about it's time for me to be married, blah, 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 blah. All of the excuses that are made on the front end. And then 1 year, 5 years, maybe even if it goes this long, 10 years later, you're like, God, if only I had paid attention to the red flags. If only if I had the courage to say no, or to walk away from the relationship. And I can talk about this because I had the courage to walk away from an engagement, about 6-8 weeks before my actual wedding date. Okay? I was like a week out from sending out the invitations, but everybody knew about the wedding. It was just a matter of me sending out the invitations. And so about about 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere up in there, y'all, I called off my wedding. I did. So I want to talk about this. I want to talk about making sure you check the pedigree before you agree to marry somebody. Now, is this a foolproof 100% way to know that you are marrying the right person? No. There is, in my opinion, no 100% foolproof. However, there are mile markers. There are things that you can look at, particular points, particular places in a person's life that points to whether or not the pedigree is good and whether or not I need to agree to move forward in a marriage with this person. All right. So again, I've touched on this before and I've talked about this before, but I want to expand on it and expound on it even a bit more, because I'm finding that even now with the plethora of information that is out there, people are still making poor decisions about who they marry. All right. We cannot continue, really, especially at my age and older, maybe at 20 or whatever, maybe you could make a bad decision still, but when you get to be our age and up, honey, we have absolutely no excuse to be marrying the wrong people. Okay? We can't do this. No. All right? And I was watching something. I'm getting a little off topic, but I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about, women nowadays are, women who are, I think he said the age was 40 or above or something, but the statistic, whatever the statistic is, it's a high statistic of women who are choosing not to get married. All right. And not because they can't get married, but they're making sure they're not rushing into anything, or they're not at a place of desperation, or they're not allowing the pressures of society to make them feel that they are inadequate or incomplete, or something is wrong with them because they don't have a husband. And I'm glad to hear that, because at the end of the day, getting married ain't hard, honey. That is not hard. Okay? I don't know why people feel like, oh, you ain't got no man, or you ain't got no husband, or you ain't got this, or you don't have these things, so it's something wrong with you. No, absolutely not. No, I choose to make good choices. I choose to check the pedigree before I agree. All right? And if more people would do that, men and women, all right, not just women, men and women would do that, our divorce rate will probably decrease substantially, because you are more intentional about the who and the what and the why of the person that you are agreeing to marry. The pedigree, what am I talking about when I say pedigree? You're looking at their background, okay? What type of family did this person come from? What type of brain knowledge, okay? Are they intelligent? Do they come from a family of intelligence? Do they come from a family of faith? And not just going to church, y'all. We ain't talking about just going to church. A family of faith who has a strong anchor and foundation in Jesus Christ. Okay? Do they have a good work ethic? I ain't talking about they can get a good job. No. Do they have a good work ethic? Do they know how to manage their money? Do they come from a family that taught them that you don't wear and purchase all your clothes to look good? Okay? Or let me rephrase that. You don't look good or buy things just to look good on the outside. You have to save money. You have to put money aside. You have to invest money. All right? You have to pay tithes and give an offering and give to others. All right? How do they treat their mother? How do they treat their sister? All right? How do they treat their father? How do they treat the person who raised them, whether it's their guardian, whomever? How do they treat their co-workers? How do they navigate through life? How do they view the world? What's their world view? What are their values? Okay? Are they integral? Do they do what they say they're going to do? Are they where they say they're going to be when they're supposed to be there? All right? These are all things that need to be considered before you agree. We're talking about the pedigree. All right? If you notice, when I'm not a dog lover or animal lover for that matter, but when you watch dog shows, I've watched them before, and even when people invest in expensive dogs, they don't make that expensive dog that they've invested in with just any old dog. They check the pedigree of the person, or not the person, or the dog that they want to mate with their dog. Why? Because it determines the offspring. All right. A lot of these kids are not who they need to be and where they need to be because maybe good pedigree got with bad pedigree, or two bad pedigrees got together and their offspring is off. All right? These are things that need to be considered. This is the work that is not being done by people who are dating. All right? You're not asking the hard questions. All right? You're not able to be yourself. And when I say be yourself, I'm not talking about your toxic self. I'm not talking about mouthing off. I'm not talking about being controlling. I'm not talking about that self. I'm talking about the healed self that is authentic, who is able to have adult conversations, who is able to answer adult questions, who's able to engage and effectively communicate and not feel offended or feel that somebody is asking too many questions or being too nosy. How can you be too nosy and you about to marry somebody and talking about spending the rest of your life with them? Baby, you better ask questions and know as much as you can. You may not know everything, but you need to know what you need to know so that you can make a good decision regarding who your person will be. Now, y'all see that? I done got a little passionate talking about this. Because I am passionate about it. Because it's sad to continue to see people make bad and poor decisions about who their mate is, and to only later get divorced or be in a miserable relationship. All right? Look, that's sad to see, and God forbid if I experience it. It's a no-go. It's a no for me. All right? It's a no for me because I refuse to find myself in a situation with someone if I have not done the proper work, where I've come too far. I've waited too long to connect with the wrong person. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And I hope you got that same mindset. And don't let anybody tell you that just because you are marrying older, or you're not married and you're older, there's something wrong with you. It's not anything wrong with you. It's something wrong with them, especially if you've done your work and continuing to do your work. It's nothing wrong with you. It's actually, you are being decisive. You are making a good choice about who you want to interact with, whatever time you got left in this world. You're being decisive, making a wise decision versus just doing something because you're lonely. Okay? Check the pedigree before you agree. I know it's a few people, wish they would have heard this episode before they married the person they married, because now they divorcing or are divorced. Okay? Excuse me. So, all right. So, look, I'm on here way longer than I planned to be. I thought this was going to be a short video, but I guess not. Anyway, I got it all out, y'all. Check the pedigree before you agree, and you'll be so glad you did, and you going to thank me later for it, okay? All right. So, look, thank you so much for joining me on today. Be sure to get your book at ohtobewhole.com. I have t-shirts for sale. This is not one of them, but I have other t-shirts for sale. Go to my website. What else? I got a speaking engagement coming up really soon. Excited about that. I'll tell you more in the next video. Actually, 2 speaking engagements, one in this month, and one coming up in November. So God is good. I'm excited about it. All right. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, God bless.